Hello friends, this video is created by Siddharth Upadhyay, founder and creator of PrepWings. Log on to www.prepwings.com for complete free course videos. In this video we'll talk about quadratic equations. So quadratic equations are equations where the variable in the equation has 2 as the highest power. Okay. So for example, x square minus x plus 6 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Okay, because 2 is the highest power of the variable x. So the general form of quadratic equation is given as ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of the term with power 2, b is the coefficient of the term with power 1, and c is the constant term. So for 2x square minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0, then a over here is 2, b is minus 5, and c is equal to 2. Okay. So each quadratic equation has actually two solutions. Okay. So each variable, say for example, x square minus x plus 6 is the quadratic equation. We'll have two solutions for x over here. Okay. So these two solutions are called as the roots of the equation. Okay. So the roots of the equation can be real and unequal, or can be real and equal, and can be not real. Okay. The not real roots are called as complex roots. Okay, and that's out of scope for our course. Now to solve a quadratic equation, how do we approach it? So for example, a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 is given to us. So what we first need to do is we have to find two such numbers which add up to b. Okay, and their product is equal to a times c. Okay, so a multiplied by c should be the product of these two numbers, and these two numbers should add up to b. After we have done that, we'll split the middle term and we'll factorize this quadratic equation to find the roots of the equation. We'll look at an example how we do it. So a question over here says that we have to solve 2x square minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. So that means we have to find the value of x. So the equation over here, 2x square minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0, what it gives us, that a is equal to 2, b is minus 5, and c is 2. Okay. So now we have to find two numbers such that the sum of the numbers is minus 5 and the product is 4, because a into c, which is 2 into 2, is equal to 4. Okay. So the two such numbers are minus 4 and minus 1. So if you add minus 4 and minus 1, you get minus 5, and if you multiply minus 4 and minus 1, you get 4. Okay, so minus 4 and minus 1 are two such number. So now what we'll do is we'll split the middle term accordingly. So minus 5x can be written as minus 4x minus x. Okay, so I'm rewriting the quadratic as 2x square minus 4x minus x plus 2 equal to 0. Okay, now we'll factorize this equation. So from the first two parts of the equation, wherein 2x square and 4x, I take 2x as common. Okay, so what I'm left with is x minus 2 in the bracket, and from the remaining half, which is minus x and plus 2, I take minus 1 as common. Again in the bracket, x minus 2 is there. Okay, so what I get is 2x times x minus 2 minus 1 times x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so x minus 2 is again common, so I'll take x minus 2 common out, and what I'm left with is x minus 2 into 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so now we know that this quadratic has been factorized to x minus 2 into 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Thus either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So if x minus 2 is 0, then x is equal to 2, or if 2x minus 1 is 0, then x is equal to half. So the roots of these equations are 2 and half. Thus the value of x is equal to either 2 or 1 by 2. Okay guys, so this is how a quadratic equation is solved. Now we'll talk about a discriminant in the quadratic equations. So discriminant D is equal to b square minus 4ac for a given quadratic equation. Okay. So now for any quadratic equation, if D is equal to 0, the discriminant is equal to 0, then the roots of the quadratic equation are real and equal. Okay. If D is greater than 0, that means if D is positive, then the roots of quadratic equations are real and unequal. And if D is less than 0, then the roots of the quadratic equations are not real. Okay. So an example is shown over here. Suppose the quadratic equation is x square minus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Now here a is 1 because the coefficient of x square is 1. Okay. B is minus 3 because coefficient of x is minus 3, and c is minus 4 because the constant term is minus 4. Okay. Thus, putting the values of a, b and c, we find the value of the discriminant, which is given by the formula d is equal to b square minus 4ac. So what we found out, that the discriminant d is equal to 25. Okay. Thus, this equation, this quadratic equation, has real and unequal roots because d is greater than 0. Okay. Now, what we'll look at another method to find the roots of the quadratic equation. So if we are not able to factorize the quadratic equation, we'll use the discriminant method. Okay. So we'll first find the discriminant, which is b square minus 4ac. Okay. And the formula for x can be given as x is equal to minus b plus under root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a, or x is equal to minus b minus under root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. Okay. Now we know that d is equal to b square minus 4ac. Okay. So if d is 0, that means b square minus 4ac is 0. Okay. Then the value of x in both the above cases will come out to be minus b by 2a. Okay. So thus the value of x is same. That is why we say that roots are equal when d is equal to 0. Okay. But one point to note over here is that even if when d is 0, we still have two roots. Yeah, but both the roots are same. We don't say that this equation has only one root. A quadratic equation will always have two roots. Okay. So when d is 0, those two roots are same. That is the only thing. Okay. Now for a quadratic equation given by ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, if we have to find the sum of roots, it is given by the formula minus b by a. And if we have to find the product of roots, it is given by the formula c by a. Suppose a quadratic equation is given as x square plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Okay. Here a is equal to 1, b is equal to 5 and c is equal to 6 for this quadratic equation. Now if we have to find the sum of roots, that will be equal to minus b by a, thus which is minus 5 by 1. Thus sum of roots is equal to minus 5. Now product of roots is given by c by a. Again c is 6 and a is 1. So product of roots of this equation becomes 6 by 1, which is equal to 6. Okay. So this is how we find the sum of roots and product of roots of a quadratic equation. Okay guys. So this is about quadratic equations. Thanks a lot for watching this video.